Okay, I have a homework assignment for you guys to try with her. Something I just did with her that went really, really well. Right now, she's engaging in a scatter feed. Just give her a second to regroup as we pivot between activities, because transitions can be hard. They can be hard for dogs, they can be hard for humans. If we can help them ease between tasks, it's helpful. So that's just what she's doing in the moment. The homework, if you're not using a clicker yet, I want you to get a clicker and you're going to prime the clicker. The way that we prime the clicker, and I'll explain more about what that means in a second, it'll make sense. The way that we prime the clicker is we say her name, wait for eye contact, or even just looking toward our direction, making the effort towards that eye contact. As soon as she does, click it, say yes at the same time, and we follow up with a treat really quickly. So if you'll recall, yes, good girl. If you'll recall the name recognition exercise, that's what this is. What we're doing is we're incorporating the clicker in it specifically so that she learns that that click that you're using, whatever clicker you're using, because they all sound a little bit different. This is why I'm telling you to do this. We want her to know that that sound means yes, I like what you just did there. You're on the right track. And oh yeah, food is on the way. So I'll show you what that looks like. Good girl, really briefly, okay? So I'm going to say her name, wait for eye contact, and then click and reward. Suha. Yes, good girl, very good. Suha. Yes, good girl. Now that one, she glanced more towards my chest. We don't care. We're marking as long as she gets close. She's making the effort. Right now, she's a little distracted because there's a bicycle over there, okay? Suha! Yes! Good girl, Mama! Good job! I'm gonna try. Yes! Good girl! Good! Suha! Yes! Good girl. Here, go find. Now I'm just gonna reset her and I'm gonna do it 2 more times. Yes, good girl. Good job. Nice. Very good. Ready? Go find. Waiting for her to finish before I call her name to set her up for success, right? Suha. Yes, good girl. Okay, be free. Very good. Go find. Good girl. So re-engaging her in the scatter feed while we chat, just so that she has an activity. She's also regulating her nervous system while she's doing that activity. The reason I want you to do that priming the clicker exercise, we're doing a lot of different things there. 1, you're letting her know that the specific clicker you're using in that moment means, yes, I like that. I want you to keep doing that. And oh yeah, food's on the way when you do a good thing. Additionally, we are teaching her that when I say your name, I need you to tune in between the ears, and that's going to be really rewarding for you. So if I say, Suha, yes, good girl, I'm almost always going to follow it up with a reward of some type. Now, as we get going, we'll incorporate other types of rewards. It won't always be a snack. Sometimes it'll be a snack every other time she does something. For now, we're marking and rewarding as often as we can so that we can communicate really, really clearly when she's on the right track, okay? So I want you to do that name recognition. Yes, good girl. And after you do that and you've primed your clicker, I then want you, the next time you go out on a walk, what I would suggest is prime the clicker just before you go out for the walk. So do it inside the apartment, at mom's, whatever. Do it somewhere inside where she's not going to be distracted. Name, eye contact, click, treat. And then when you head outside for your walk, for that first 5 minutes of your walk, every single time that she looks at you or looks towards you, I want you to click, say yes, and treat, okay? So what that looks like, this is what we just did. And she was like, on fire. Really, really good. So let's see. Suha! Yes, good girl, Mama. Good job. Good girl. Yes, good girl, good girl. Nice. Yes, good girl. Good job. Very good. Okay, be free. Now, I said nothing to her during that time. The only time that I was clicking, praising, and rewarding was when she looked towards me. So what I'm doing is capturing the behavior, right? You'll notice, if you watch that back, she only looked at me like twice in that direction. But as soon as we turned around and it started to click that, oh, that's what's getting me rewarded. On the way back, she looked at me 3 or 4 times, and because she got so excited about it, she was charging ahead of me. Now, blessing and a curse there, right? She's really excited to do what it is we want her to do. She's excited to play the game and to be rewarded. But because of all those big feelings and that excitement, that's causing her to charge forward. It's again very important for us to communicate clearly our preferred behavior. So as she charges forward, I just stop and wait her out. Or as she gets close, I click that eye contact and then lead her back. So let's do that one more time. I'll see if I can narrate as it's happening, okay? Because I know she's going to do it again. She gets so excited to do the things. Let's go. Good girl. Nice job. Yes, good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Good, be free. So now she only charged ahead 1 time that time. So what that says to me is 1, she's learning that we prefer a loose leash, and that I'm not gonna keep moving if there's tightness on the leash. So what we're teaching her there is called leash pressure, right? Indicating that when the leash is tight, I'm not going to keep moving. I'm not going to proceed forward until you release that tension. And in this exercise, the way she was doing it, because of the games we were playing before, the way she was doing it was looking back at me. I would click that eye contact. Good girl, get it. I would click that eye contact as she looked at me, and then she would register, oh, right, and she would make her way back. Now, as she was making her way back the first few times, I helped lead her in, right, with that little good girl, that lure and that movement. But that was just added support to set her up for success. You don't have to do that every time. It's not a bad idea. She's very clearly good at following a lure. She likes movement. She's excited to move with you. It makes you more rewarding. So, putting that all together, okay? You're gonna do that first clicker exercise. Name, eye contact, looking towards you, looking at you, click, yes, treat. I want you to do that inside, low distraction environment, TV's off or super quiet, cat can be there, but like as few distractions as you can, right? Then when you head outside, as soon as you leave the apartment, you're in the hallway, you're outside the door, the second she looks at you, click it, yes, and treat, okay? You're gonna do that consistently for the first 5 minutes. Keep in mind, so that we're not overfeeding her or giving her too much junk, you can mix her kibble into this, okay? And I would suggest doing that. I use 4 or 5 treats at a time. So right now I have kibble, I have dehydrated chicken, I have beef liver, and I have Ziwi's mackerel and lamb, so variety. The reason is she never knows what's coming next, and so she's equally willing to work for the kibble as she is for those, yes, good girl, those other yummy things that I have there. So for the first 5 minutes, you're clicking, marking every single time she looks at you. From there, you can start doing it inconsistently, but you still want to look for the opportunity to capture good behaviors. So for example, when I walked down to the other side, I had said LETSGO, indicating, hey, I'm changing directions. I need you to move with me. The second that she started to turn towards me, even without looking at me, I'm already praising and clicking and telling her good job, because that shows me you're listening to me. We were in the zone, we were doing a thing, but you're paying attention to what I'm saying, and I appreciate that you moved along with me. I'm gonna let you know you're on the right track, okay? So it all comes down to communication. The benefit of the clicker is you don't have to talk as much. You can mark much more precisely when she does the thing that you prefer. There's less miscommunication about it. The only time it becomes a miscommunication is if your timing is way off. So for example, let's pretend we're walking. She looks at me, she looks away, I wait 2 full seconds and then I click. Now she thinks that it was looking away that got her rewarded. I want to make sure that my timing is while she's looking at me. But outside of that, you're not going to do any damage like some other tools would, right? I also want you to pay attention to the leash pressure. That's the last bit with this. If there is leash pressure, we're not moving forward. The reason for that is they only repeat behaviors that work for them. And so pulling happens because she wants access to something. She wants to get somewhere. She wants to go somewhere. So if we stop making the pulling rewarding, she's not going to do that. The way that we stop the pulling from being rewarding is one, you saw in that exercise, I can click and mark eye contact anytime. That's going to proactively prevent her from pulling because she's now engaged. She's excited to be with me. Or if and when she does pull, because no one's perfect, you can stop, wait for that eye contact, lead her back in. Or if she's super disengaged, you just turn the other direction, right? We turn, and then naturally she's going to end up there, and we're going to click and mark it, okay? So U-turn is always a good option. I tend to use it last just because I don't want to do a whole lot of circles. Good job, mamas. She sees a little white dog. She's making a good choice. Good girl, Suha. Yeah, good girl. Good job. That's hard, huh? Let's go this way. Hey, Suha. Suha. Hey, girlfriend. Suha, woo-ha. Notice there's no tension, okay? Because she's charging up. I don't want to pull back if I can avoid it. Now she's... Good girl. Good girl, mama. Shake it off. Yeah, go. Good girl. That's so good, I know. Good job, mama. Good girl. Yeah, good job. Good job. Good girl. Oh, I don't know how much you can see of that. I hope you could see it all. I'm gonna watch it back. Good job. The dog is still right here for context. They're on a flexi leash. Yeah, mama. Good girl. She did it. She got the stick. Yeah. Good girl. Get it. Get it. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, nice. Good job, Suha. Good job, Suha. Get it. Get that stick. Get it, girl. Yeah, shake it off. Get it. Where'd that stick? Yeah, get the stick. Get that stick. Oh, that was so hard. I know. That was so hard. That dog sucked, huh? That was so sucky. So hard, huh? Oh, yeah. Huh? Let's go this way. Wow, that was so hard. Good job, mamas. All right. I hope you could see that. If not, I'll try to edit it out. The dog, for context, is all of 5 pounds. They're in the crosswalk. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, it's like the size of a small cat / big squirrel. Not a big dog. Not anything to be that worried about. That said, good girl. That was very distressing. It was. That was so hard, mama. Good girl. I think the thing that was hard there particularly, good girl. You're such a good girl. I know that was really hard. It really was. I'm really proud of you. Good job asking for help. Very good. I think the reason that was so challenging in particular is the dog was on a flexi leash, so their movement was really unpredictable. they continued to move towards us as she was reacting. And so from her perspective, she's communicating super clearly, loudly, stay away, I'm scared, I'm uncomfortable, don't come near me. And from her perspective, and she's right, they're proceeding to ignore her communication and move closer. Now, we're not faulting the human. The human doesn't know what they don't know, right? We don't speak dog until we learn how to speak dog. But from her perspective, she's communicating really effing clearly and they are being disrespectful. That's why it's important when she seems like she's starting to get over threshold, just get distance. Do whatever it is that you have to do to help her get distance. So there did become a point where I had a whole handful of all the best stuff in my pocket in her face. She was not willing and able to eat them. And so even though I kept it there so that it was exciting, yes, I started running with her, just helping her get that movement. And let me untangle you, okay? And helping her get away from the dog. Now they continue to proceed, you know where we are, right? So they continue to proceed around that sidewalk there. And again, from Suha's perspective, that's them proceeding closer to her while she's communicating clearly, hey, fuck off, stay out of my space. And the dog, like, they didn't come super close or anything, just to be clear. But from her perspective, she's being really, really clear. We just want to keep that tucked in our head and remember, she's not trying to give us a hard time. She's having a hard time. There's a really, really big difference there. She also attempted multiple times to check in with me, to do what I was asking her to do. That's why when I realized she wasn't taking the treats, hey, let's just run together. And so as she was able to move with me, it was like, yeah, good girl, good girl, good girl. She started to lose it again, so I grabbed the stick at that point because she likes to have something in her mouth and grab it and chew it. That's a good way to cope with all of those big feelings. It's why she goes for the leash. So the second I saw her start to go for the leash, I grabbed that stick. She was very willing to grab onto the stick and work it out. Unfortunately for us, even though that helped her regroup a little, again, the dog and the human proceeded towards us. So from her perspective, she's now, again, good job. I see them, mamas. There's another one on that side. What the heck? All these crazy dogs around today, huh? Are you the bravest girl? From her perspective, that dog is proceeding to come closer to her when she's having a really hard time. And that's rude and disrespectful and really hard for her. So she's using her coping skills, feeling disrespected and invalidated. Good girl, good job. And so again, even though she's using this skill, try and help her get away. So I grabbed the stick, I started moving this way. Unfortunate for us, they then proceeded this way. So we're just doing the best we can. We're pivoting frequently. Look at you go. That's a big guy too, and you're being quiet. I can't even believe it. What a good girl she is. Yes, and then she disengaged. What? Good girl, oh my God. And I knocked over the camera because I was so excited. Yes, mama. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about the camera today. The whole tripod just went over. Good girl, this is her regulating. Good girl, charging up a little, thinking about it. Good job, mama. That's so hard. That's a big guy, huh? Get it, girl. Work it out. Yes. Shake it off, girl. Yes. Nice. Cheering on those skills usage. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Good girl. Oh, my gosh. Get them. Get them. These are pieces of chicken, okay? Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Now, the reason she didn't escalate there, God damn it, I love when I'm right. Okay, the reason she didn't escalate there, because that was a huge-ass Mastiff puppy, she started to get a little bit uncomfortable. She started doing that huffing that we talked about. She started kicking up the grass. Again, she's coping. She's trying to regulate her big feelings, kicking the grass, kicking the scent, trying to mark, trying to get herself together. And as she did, he walked away. So from her perspective, she said, get out of here, guy. Stop it. Don't come close to me. And he listened. Now, he didn't even look at her. That probably wasn't intentional. Him and his human were just walking that way. That's what it seemed to be happening more so. But from her perspective, she said what she said, and that was responded to accordingly. Okay? So it's all about communication. It's consent. It's boundaries. I know that it sounds really complicated because we're just talking about dog training, right? But you've learned already, Imani, we've talked about it's a very different thing to train behaviors, obedience, classic obedience, to teach a sit, stay, down, whatever. That's not hard. Teaching emotional regulation skills teaching her that she can look to us for support when she's struggling, us being there, being ready to support her in those moments and knowing how to do that, that is a way different thing that we're doing. And that's what we're doing right now. We're helping her learn how to navigate this world. Good girl. Good job with all of her big feelings. Now, she saw a scooter. She's right behind the camera right now. She saw a scooter. She looked to them. She thought about it, and then she looked to me. She didn't come back for a treat. That's okay. That's a choice, but I'm still going to mark and reward that choice to check in with me instead of escalating. So, homework. Clicker exercise with name recognition. First 5 minutes of the walk, I want you doing this as often as you can. Ideally, every single walk you do for the next week, but I'm a realist. Do it as often as you humanly can, okay? Do your clicker exercise, 10 to 15 repetitions before you leave the house. For the first 5 minutes when you get outside, click, yes, good girl, good girl. From there, yes, good girl! Turn it into, instead of marking and rewarding every single time she looks at you, turn it into just capturing good behavior. Good girl. So for example, you say, let's go. Good. She moves with you. You click it, mark it, and reward it, okay? And you can use that when you're getting away from dogs too. Don't forget that. She sees a dog. It can be an instant. If you get ahead of it, let's go. We go in the other direction. We just move away from the thing, right? Okay, I think that's plenty. I'm really sorry this ended up so long, but that's the blessing and the curse of these sessions, is like shit just happens in real time, right? And we have the opportunity to work through it together. Yes, ma'am. And hopefully the video and being able to see it in like real time, and how we manage it and what she's able to do, I hope that that's helpful for you. As always, let me know if you have questions. I'm always happy to break things down more, talk about it, elaborate, whatever. But look, now that she's worked through those two big things, she's now watched at least 3 or 4 scooters go by, and she looks, yes, just like that. She looks to me instead of escalating or getting any kind of big feels about it. It's like, hey, do you see that? Oh, you saw me see it? Okay, I'm cool. So it comes back to validating her emotions, validating her experience, letting her know, hey, I see, I got you. I know that's hard, but I got your back. You don't have to worry about it. Right? Good girl, Suha. Yes, so good.